Hi guys, welcome. Sorry, I'll be packing because I didn't have a chance today all day long. Have been running left and right. It was my birthday. So this is the big question. For modern people like us with busy jobs and schedules, how do we integrate yoga, science and modern life? How do we live our normal lives and yet achieve bliss? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Mariya and welcome to Lifestyle Secrets. So I literally came back from dinner with my friends and I was in the office all day long. And I'm flying to Ukraine tomorrow at 5 a.m. So I'm going to be picked up really early and I really need to pack. But so you're invited to chat with me if you want to while I'm doing my luggage. It's going to be pretty cold apparently. I'm really not looking forward to that bit. But what can you do? It's Eastern Europe, I guess, and it's November, so it's what you get. But what I came to realize today was that ultimately what really matters in life is who surrounds you and kind of the social circle you build. And through life I have had quite a bit of changes of those who were around me. And people come and people go. But what's really important is that you vibrate at such a degree that you attract the right people in your life. That you have your family, your loved ones, your closest circle of friends that are there for you and that really care for you and that are those that matter for you. Because we tend to go in life with the social norms and the social understandings and beliefs, and sometimes those are not the true people in our lives. And we realize that probably a bit later as we experience things. But with me came with Kundalini yoga, because at some point as you start practicing and you practice really hard and you go into this and you really integrate the practice in your life and the psychology and the philosophy behind, then you start building yourself into a different vibration. And as you raise your vibration, at some point you realize that some people naturally just drift away from your life and other people's come. And you connect to them in such a deep level, in such a deep state, that you really, really resonate and say, wow, so that is what friendship is. Because, we end up in situations when we're not conscious. We end up in different circumstances and social understandings, but not always these things are actually the right things for us. Not always these people are the right people for us. And it's really interesting as life goes on, where you cross paths with different people, they touch you, they have an impact on you, and then at some point they walk away. But the important thing is that you've had that interaction and that have steered you into some direction. You might not realize it at the moment, but in time you understand and say, oh, that's why I met that person, because they showed me this or they told me this. And it can be one word, it can be one gesture, and that gesture actually meant everything at that specific moment. And then you took on a different path, and then you developed in a completely different way or became a completely different human being. So be it that's your guru or your teacher that you've encountered and you really connected with, and that person changed your life forever, or be it just a friend or somebody you even met on the tube or on the train. They told you something that really resonated with you. How many of you have experienced that? Right? How many of you have had that encounter with somebody and like, oh my God, I really need to hear that. Well, I didn't realize this. How did I not? And that is the essence of life, because in the kind of Eastern psychology, there is saying that we all kind of prepare our plans before we come to earth, before our souls incarnate into this life. And we're all here for a purpose. It's important to understand what this purpose is, and if we understand it, then we can build on it, and as we call it, burn your karma, because you walk on your path. Yeah, you walk the talk. But to do that, sometimes we need people to steer us in the right direction. And friends are those who kind of act as the barometer. Yeah, those who actually give us the power and the energy for us to continue. Those who pick us up when we fall. Those are there that we can enjoy and collaborate and really have a beautiful relationship. It's not the person you're gonna go to the cinema with because you're bored on Saturday night. It's not the person you're gonna go to a restaurant because it's open and you really want to chill somewhere. It's the people that actually really matter in life. And we need to cherish them, we need to appreciate them, and we need to take every moment that we spend with them with total gratitude and total awareness as to what we bring in, what we also give in. Because we act as an agent for each other and we enrich each other's lives. And I've been really blessed to have found a really close group of friends who have been there for me and continue to be there for me. And some go and some new people come in, and you change your job and you have new team to work with. You meet a new partner, or something happens in your life and you have a completely different setup. But we learn and we experience, and that's the joy of life, because everything is flowing, everything moves. And if we're still in ourselves, and if we can appreciate this, then we really can grow. So it's an essential part of how life transitions and how we incorporate this. So my message to you today is just stay within and just think of everybody who is around you and why they're there. And even if there's some annoying agent that comes in and really pisses you off, whether it's your boss or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife, or circumstances that come in, well, maybe they're there for a reason. Maybe they're there to just wake you up or show you what's happening. Because sometimes people who are closest to us, they act as a mirror of our soul. They are the barometer of what's happening within us. So when we do not like what we see, most often that's because we are in that condition. We are probably the agent of why we are seeing what we're seeing in front of us. So everything begins with us. It begins with what we put in the body as food and nourishment. It begins with the mind and how that mind functions. It begins with what we project and the energy level we bring in. So if we are out of balance, then everybody around us will be out of balance. If we're not in our core, if we're not true, if we're not presenting ourselves with the trueness of who we are and what we say and what we do, people detect that. Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously they do. And when you're in a great mood, when you're happy, when you experience the joy of life, then people just naturally come around you and they really enjoy your company and they want to spend time with you. When you are needy, when you are down, when you are fearing something, when you live in a low vibration, then people kind of walk away. Because nobody wants to be around a grumpy, negative person. Everybody likes to be around somebody who is balanced and calm and peaceful and brings that joy of their company, of their enrichment, of their knowledge, of their experience through this life. So as we go along, I should not forget my cables, because I always do this and it's never really cool. As we go along, one of the good practices sometimes to just stay peaceful, calm, and even quiet for a bit. Like, spend like one Saturday morning just not talking and just really going through that experience of what it really means to be me and to who is in my life. Because it's really important to have that understanding and that appreciation. And then you find whether you have the right people around you and what changes you need to make. We shouldn't act from emotion, right? Oh, I don't like this person. Oh, that person was mean to me. We should go deeper and kind of understand, why is this happening? Why I have this person around me? What am I supposed to learn from this? Sometimes it probably is just because I'm in a crappy low energy and I've attracted that person in. My barriers, my aura is not strong enough. I can't protect myself well, and then boom, something happens and something bad, negative appears, and that person is just what I've materialized with my mental power, with my energy, with my thinking. But when we are open, when we are happy, when we are, going, when we're there, then we get the great people around, and that's such a joy, that's such an experience. So I've enjoyed tremendously my day today. I've had a great time. I'm gonna finish packing today, and I'm gonna soon go to bed because I have to get up literally in a few hours. I'll see you tomorrow. But really, really reflect on everybody around you, on all your circumstances, on what really happens in your life right now. Just check it. Don't judge it. Don't torture yourself as, oh my God, something's wrong with me because I have all these people and I have all this happening. No, just relax and just live it through. And when you work on yourself, everything else happens naturally. When you work on yourself, it's a very nice story. I have Guru Ratana staying with me after the workshop. We had a really nice chat the other day. And she was telling me a story about someone in her life who's been doing a meditation for love. She was married to a guy who physically abused her and wasn't nice to her. And this woman just totally and completely just focused on her practice, in her meditation, on her own work, internal work. And what happened is that after completing 90 days of that meditation, that person just packed their bags and left. There was not even discussion, there was no fights, there was nothing. There was just no space for him in her life anymore because she raised up. She was a completely different vibration. So when a lower vibration comes in and you're here, they can't really catch up, they can't feed from you. So they walk away. And you immediately attract an equal vibration or higher. And that's how you go up, and that's how you find a proper partner, a proper friendship, a social circle that's there to support and it's relevant to you and really meaningful, as opposed to just filling up the blanks of us not feeling lonely. Because we as human beings, we feel sometimes there's this need of fulfillment, of I need to matter, I need to be surrounded by multitudes, I need to be shown and seen. But that's not the reality, that's not the real you. You may have one friend, but if that's a true friend, that's what's gonna matter. And then you're gonna feel complete. So go within, meditate on this, spend some time just with yourself, just with your soul. Evaluate who's around you, who are your friends, your circle, your family, your social surroundings, your work. And just understand it for yourself. What's been happening? Why is it happening? How is it happening? Then you can work on that. Sat Nam. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon.